How are you? All well? Having a good day? I hope it's going well. It's all right if it's not, but I hope it is good. I hope you're having a good day. So, time for a bit of meditation. This isn't a class, it's just a chance to meditate together. These meditations are part of the further emergence work that I do. I'll explain about that at the end of the meditation. But for now, if you're familiar with meditation, brilliant, we can get into it in a minute. I just want to explain what I do for the benefit of people who are new to meditation. For me, it starts with why I would meditate. I'm trying to connect to a part of me that I connect to every night when I go to sleep. Not the dreaming bit, the bit after dreaming. I'm dreaming and then I drop at the bottom of dreaming into deep dreamless sleep, which is a beautiful, mysterious place. I'm very interested in that place because when I'm there, I've got no memory, I've got no thoughts, I've got no stories or personality, or I've got no body or house or country or nothing. It's like death, or what I imagine death might be, which sounds terrible, and yet I love going to sleep, and when I wake up in the morning I feel refreshed. So some part of me knows that that's a good place, and that's the place I want to go to when I meditate. I just want to do it consciously. So if you're new to meditation, don't do this lying down. If you're lying down, you're going to fall asleep, and if you don't fall asleep, you'll battle sleep. Either way, it's counter to what we're endeavoring to do. So yeah, sit up. You don't have to sit in a lotus position or anything like that unless you're really comfortable in a lotus position, in which case brilliant. But if you're not, you can just sit in a chair. Just make sure it's not a really comfortable chair, like a big soft lovely armchair that you might fall asleep in. So as I say, I've got no thoughts in this place, so I have to figure out something with my mind. I have to sort of part the curtains of my mind to get into this place. So I just make an arrangement with my mind. I just say, hey, can you just not think for the next 15 minutes because I'm going to meditate? And my mind is on board for this. It's like, yep, okay. So that's important. Get your mind on board for it. And then to stop thinking, it's relatively easy because regardless of what I'm thinking about, which would be the content of my thoughts, the structure of my thought is always the same. It's always pictures and sound. So if I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, that's it, I'm not thinking. So as soon as I start that, as soon as I stop thinking, I'm into the practice of meditation. And the practice of meditation runs parallel to the intention of meditation. So my intention is to go to this deep, quiet, still place that I mentioned. And then the practice of meditation starts when I stop thinking the first time. And it kind of goes, I stop thinking, I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. Then a little bit of time passes and I discover that I'm thinking again. So I'm like, oh, okay, I'm thinking again. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. I bring myself back to not thinking. Then some more time passes. I discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again. So I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. And then some more time passes. I discover I'm thinking again. I go, oh, I'm thinking again. I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound. I keep bringing myself back to not thinking. That's the practice of meditation. And it runs parallel with my intention. And I'm sort of drawing your attention to it again if you're new to meditation, because it's easy to get the misconception that to meditate correctly, you shouldn't be thinking at all, which it's your intention to go to this still place, but thinking happens because your mind's used to thinking. So it's more of a dance between these two things. Sometimes you'll be very deep and still, other times you'll be discovering you're thinking. Both are powerful. It's very powerful when you're deep and still in that place. And it's also very powerful when you're discovering that you're thinking. It's just a bit more subtle to see where the power is. Because if you're like me, the sorts of things that you'll be thinking about are all to do with you. Why did I say that to that person? What am I going to do about this thing? And so on, right? Now, if I'm in the middle of one of those thoughts and I'm in the middle of meditation and I go, oh, I'm thinking, and I turn off the pictures and I turn off the sound, then indirectly what I'm saying to myself is, that thought that you just had, that you thought was you and that you were it, well, you just made that thought disappear. So you're not that thought. In fact, you're not any of your thoughts. You're something else. That's very powerful. And then the fact that you do that repeatedly, that's very powerful as well. So the main thing is not to add to your thinking by thinking that you're doing it wrong. There's no set amount of times that you should be bringing yourself back from thinking. It changes every day and changes every hour of every day. The main thing is every time you discover that you're thinking, just bring yourself back to not thinking. Turn off the pictures, turn off the sound. Now, while all that's going on, I'm also letting go of tension in my body. So I'm scanning my body from my head to my feet and back up again, very slowly, very gently. And anywhere I find tension, I'm letting it go with my out-breath. And I do that because it's natural to just breathe it away. I use my out-breath. But it's also a good way to bring attention to my breathing. Because it's easy to hold your breath during meditation or to stop breathing altogether. So using the out-breath to let the tension go is a great way to bring more awareness to my breathing. Having a nice quiet, as I scan my body up and down, I'm also paying particular attention to any structures in my body that go across my body. Mostly my body runs head to toe longitudinally. Anything that goes across acts a little bit like a log in a stream. You know, it picks up the twigs and the branches and the leaves and whatever's coming down the stream, except in my body, it's tension. So I'm checking my eyes, that's a transverse side, my jaw, my tongue, base of my neck, shoulder girdle, all my joints, so my shoulders, elbows, wrists, fingers, my heart area, my respiratory diaphragm, all my intestines, my pelvic floor, my hips, my knees, my ankles and my toes. Anywhere I find the tension, I just breathe it away. If you are new to meditation, a nice quiet room is really helpful because as soon as you close your eyes, your hearing is going to amplify, and one of the things that triggers thoughts is little noises. Quiet room where you're not going to be disturbed, that's very helpful. And then the other thing I do to help my mind is I set a timer for how long I'm going to meditate. Because without a timer, there's too much space there for my mind to kind of go, how much time has passed? I don't know. Should I check my watch? And so on. So I'm going to set my timer for 15 minutes, but I'd encourage you to set yours for 5 minutes and then just repeat that 3 times, because 15 minutes is a long time if you're not used to it. You can work up to it, the more you practice meditation. But yeah, if it's your first time, I'd do it for 5 minutes and then repeat it 3 times. All right. Off we go into the mystery. Okay, if you feel like you've gone very deeply inside yourself, then take a minute to come back from there before you open your eyes. Or if you feel like you can hold the inner space and the outer space, then just open your eyes. And if when you do that you feel like you've lost the inner space, then you can just close your eyes. So yep, there it is, reconnected. Open my eyes again. Oh no, it's gone again. Close your eyes. You can sort of open and close your eyes and use your eyes like a valve to balance the inner space and the outer space. As I said at the beginning, these daily meditations that I do are part of the Further Emergence work. Further Emergence is to do with growth, particularly inner growth, growth in consciousness. You could call it spiritual growth, that kind of thing. And the idea is that when you're growing in your body, you know, you go from being a child to an adolescent, and then when you become an adult, your body sort of stops growing and it switches into a different thing. But you keep growing on the inside. And just like when your body was growing, you would have gone through periods of accelerated growth, you know, what are called growth spurts. The same happens on the inside, and those growth spurts go on for the rest of your life. And it's easy to misidentify an inner growth spurt for something, that there's something wrong. It's a naturally occurring thing, but it can present itself in ways that make you feel like there's something wrong going on, or there's something strange or weird going on. Like you can feel like everything is going very fast on the inside, or you can feel blocked on the inside. That's another way it can manifest. Or you can sort of wake up one day and your life doesn't seem recognizable to you, or you can't recognize yourself in your life. That's another way. It can be quite isolating, because you can go from everyone understands what I'm talking about and I relate to everyone relates to me, everyone gets me, to no one gets me, and I don't really get anyone. I don't really understand, you know, they're so almost like speaking a different language. And there can be physical symptoms sometimes as well. So yeah, it can be disorienting and strange. So these meditations are a way of just becoming more familiar with your inner space to help with that. There's also a weekly Zoom group where people who are going through this or interested in it can we come together, and there's a bit more in-depth meditation. There's questions and answers. It's a chance to kind of see, oh, I'm not the only one going through this. So there's a community. And then I work with people one-to-one as well. Like today was a day where I see people. And that's a combination of in front of the scenes and behind the scenes work. So in front of the scenes, it's talking and questions and answers and that kind of thing. And then I also do distance behind the scenes work as well. All, you know, to help with this process. So if that resonates with you, something in that, yeah, you want to find out more about it, well, you can sort of follow along on YouTube, Facebook, and Instagram. Just search for Further Emergence, or you can go to the website and have a read about it, furtheremergence.com. So thanks for meditating with me, and I'll see you tomorrow for some more meditation. Bye.